All right, so get this. Imagine like swapping your rent for residency in another country. That's what we're diving into today. Exploring surprisingly affordable residency visas. Like we've got your cheat sheet right here, based on a YouTube video from Picky Girl Travels the World that
Yeah.
breaks down all the options. So you get all the juicy bits without spending hours watching.
Yeah, it's a really common misconception that living abroad is only for the ultra-wealthy. And this deep dive is going to show you there are some seriously budget-friendly pathways to making that dream a reality.
Okay, so before we get into specific countries, could you kind of break down the difference between a tourist visa and a residency visa for those of us who are, shall we say, newbies to the world of international living?
Absolutely. So a tourist visa is like a guest pass. You can visit, enjoy the sights, but you're expected to leave after a set time. A residency visa, on the other hand, is like getting a key to the city. It lets you stay longer, often work, and sometimes even access things like healthcare or education in that country.
So it's more about putting down roots rather than just passing through. And the video we're exploring focuses on residency visas that don't involve massive investments or those golden visa programs we hear about for the super rich.
Right, exactly. We're talking about options that are attainable for people with regular incomes, often requiring just a few $100s a month to qualify. In some cases, that's less than rent in some major U.S. cities.
Wow, that's eye-opening. I had no idea it could be that affordable.
Yeah.
So what are some of the unexpected perks of having a residency visa? Is it just about the ability to stay longer?
It's definitely more than just an extended stay. A residency visa often brings a sense of stability and belonging that you don't get with a tourist visa. It can be a stepping stone to permanent residency or even citizenship, giving you a real stake in your new home.
It sounds like it could be a huge lifestyle shift, not just a vacation. But I'm guessing it's not all sunshine and roses?
Yeah.
What are some of the things people should watch out for?
Yeah, you're right. It's essential to do your research. While income requirements are important, the cost of living in each country can vary wildly. A country might have a low income threshold for the visa, but daily expenses could be much higher than what you're used to.
Ah, so it's about looking beyond just the visa requirements and considering the overall affordability of living in that country.
Exactly. And some countries have additional requirements, like spending a certain amount of time within their borders each year to maintain your residency. That's something to consider if you're a digital nomad or envision yourself traveling frequently.
So a little bit of research can go a long way in making sure you find the right fit. Now, I'm ready for the fun part. Let's get into some specific countries. The video creator Adelia grouped the countries she mentioned by region, which makes it easier to digest. Shall we start with Latin America? It seems like there's some incredible opportunities there.
Latin America is a goldmine for affordable residency options. Argentina, for example, has something called a rentista or pensionado visa.
Those sound interesting. Break those down for me.
Yeah.
What exactly do they mean?
Look. So a rentista visa is designed for people who have a steady income that doesn't come from a traditional job in that country. Think of it like living off your savings investments or rental income. And pensionado essentially means retirement visa. It's for folks who have a pension or other retirement income stream.
Got it. So if you're not planning on working in Argentina but have a way to support yourself financially, these visas could be a good option. But how much do you actually need to make to live comfortably in Argentina?
So for Argentina, you need about 30,000 Argentinian pesos per month, which is roughly $300 USD at the moment. Keep in mind, exchange rates can fluctuate.
Wow, $300 a month to live in Buenos Aires, the Paris of South America.
Yeah.
That's incredible. What about the visa itself? How long is it good for?
It's good for a year initially and can be renewed. And here's where it gets really exciting. After 3 years, you can apply for permanent residency, and 2 years after that, you can even apply for citizenship.
That's a pretty clear path to potentially becoming an Argentine citizen. That's got to be appealing for people who are looking for a more permanent change. I'm curious, though, how realistic is it to live comfortably in Argentina on $300 a month?
That's a great question.
Hmm.
While the visa requirement is low, the reality is that the cost of living in Argentina, especially in cities like Buenos Aires, has been increasing. $300 a month might cover basic expenses, but you might need to adjust your lifestyle or supplement your income to truly thrive.
That's a good point. So it's not just about meeting the visa requirement. It's about understanding the real cost of living and making sure your finances align with your lifestyle expectations. What about other Latin American gems on the list?
Well, let's stick with the theme of vibrant cities. How about we hop across the continent to Panama? It's a popular choice for retirees, particularly those thinking about investing in real estate.
I've heard Panama City is booming. Tell me more about their visa options.
They have a pensionado visa, which, as we learned, means retirement visa, and an independent means visa. For the pensionado visa, you need to show a monthly income of $1,000 USD. But here's the kicker. If you buy real estate, the income requirement drops to $750 USD.
So there's a financial incentive to invest in property. What are the perks of the pensionado visa?
It's indefinite, meaning you don't have to go through the hassle of renewals. However, there's no direct path to permanent residency with this particular visa.
Okay, so maybe not the best choice if you're looking for a fast track to citizenship, but certainly attractive for those who want the stability of an indefinite visa and are interested in the real estate market. What about the independent means visa? Who is that for?
That one's for folks who have a reliable source of income that's not tied to employment in Panama, like investment income or rental income from properties outside of Panama. The income requirement is $2,000 USD per month, and it also comes with the perk of being indefinite.
Interesting. So Panama offers options for both those looking to settle down in their golden years and those who have the financial freedom to live wherever they choose. What other affordable options are there in Latin America?
Well, if you're drawn to the idea of beaches, sunshine, and a more laid-back pace of life, the Dominican Republic is a fantastic choice, especially for retirees.
Now you're speaking my language. What kind of visa options do they offer?
They have a retirement visa that's quite straightforward. If you can demonstrate a monthly income of just $1,500 USD, you can secure a visa that's good for 4 years. And yes, you guessed it, it's renewable. There's also a path to permanent residency and eventually citizenship, so you could really plant roots in the Dominican Republic.
Okay, so $1,500 a month for beachside, living in the Dominican Republic with a path to citizenship.
Okay.
That's making me want to pack my bags right now. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about another beautiful country in the Caribbean. What about Nicaragua? It's known for its natural beauty and cultural richness.
Nicaragua is definitely worth considering, especially if you're on a tight budget. They have both rentista and pensionado visas, and the income requirements are super affordable, even lower than Argentina.
Okay, now you got my attention. How affordable are we talking?
For a pensionado visa, you only need to show $600 USD per month. If you're going the rentista route, it's slightly higher at $750 USD per month.
Wow, that's incredibly budget-friendly. What about the visa duration and the possibility of becoming a citizen in Nicaragua?
That's where it gets a little tricky. The specific details on visa duration and the path to citizenship can be a bit hard to pin down from readily available sources. It seems like there is a path to both permanent residency and citizenship in Nicaragua, but it's absolutely crucial to do your own research and maybe even consult with an immigration lawyer to confirm the specifics.
That's a great reminder that visa regulations can be complex and are subject to change. It's always best to do your due diligence and get the most up-to-date information from official sources. So Nicaragua is a great option for those seeking a more affordable, laid-back lifestyle. But thorough research is key. What other countries are on our radar?
Let's shift gears and head south to explore a couple of countries known for their stunning landscapes and unique cultural experiences, Peru and Ecuador.
Peru and Ecuador, two countries with incredible biodiversity and ancient history. Sign me up. What are the residency options like in these countries?
Well, in Peru, there's a rentista visa that requires you to have a monthly income of at least $1,000 USD. And get this, the visa is indefinite. No need for renewals. You can also apply for permanent residency and citizenship.
No renewals. That sounds fantastic. But hold on, there's usually a catch with indefinite visas, right?
You're right. Both Peru and Ecuador have physical presence requirements, meaning you have to spend a certain amount of time living in the country each year to maintain your residency. In fact, Ecuador requires you to be there for a whopping 275 days out of a year.
Wow, 275 days. That's a serious commitment. Definitely something to consider if you're the type who likes to travel frequently or maintain a home base in another country.
Exactly. It's all about finding the right fit for your lifestyle and travel style.
Speaking of travel style, what about options for those digital nomads out there? You know, the folks who work remotely and love to explore the world. Where's a good spot for them?
Well, Southeast Asia is a haven for digital nomads, and Indonesia is a prime example. It's a country with a vibrant culture, stunning beaches, and a relatively affordable cost of living.
I can definitely see the appeal. What kind of visa options does Indonesia offer?
They have a retirement visa that's actually open to people of all ages. You'll need a monthly income of $1,500 USD to qualify, and the visa is good for 1 year initially with the possibility of renewal. And yes, there's a path to permanent residency and citizenship down the line.
That's great. So Indonesia offers a more flexible option for those who aren't quite ready for retirement but want to experience a new culture and embrace the digital nomad lifestyle. Are there any other affordable options in Southeast Asia that stand out?
Absolutely. Let's talk about the Philippines. It's a country with incredibly friendly people, delicious food, and a fascinating blend of cultures. And it's particularly budget-friendly for those over 50, thanks to their retirement visa.
Okay, tell me more about this retirement visa. How affordable are we talking?
You only need $800 USD per month to qualify, which is
Uh,
less than the rent in many places in the US. Alternatively, you can qualify with a capital deposit of $15,000. The visa is renewable, but there's no direct path to permanent residency. However, you can apply for citizenship after 10 years if you've spent the majority of that time residing in the Philippines.
Interesting. So there's a trade-off, a lower income requirement, but a longer wait for the possibility of citizenship. It's all about prioritizing what's important to you. What other gems are hidden in Southeast Asia?
While not explicitly mentioned in the video we're using as our guide, it's worth mentioning Thailand and Vietnam. They're both incredibly popular with digital nomads due to their relatively low cost of living, delicious cuisine, and exciting cultural experiences.
You're absolutely right. Both Thailand and Vietnam have thriving expat communities and offer a fantastic blend of affordability and adventure. Okay, so we've explored some fantastic options in Latin America and Southeast Asia. Now I'm curious, what about Europe? Is there anything even remotely affordable on that side of the world?
Europe tends to have higher income requirements, but there are always exceptions to the rule. Portugal, for instance, has a visa that's particularly appealing to those with significant savings.
I've heard great things about Portugal. It seems to be a popular choice for expats. What's the deal with this visa?
If you can prove you have savings of around $177,000 USD, or a monthly income of €75, which is currently about $80 USD, you can snag a 2-year renewable visa. And after 5 years of holding this visa, you can apply to convert it to permanent residency.
Wait, $80 a month? That seems remarkably low. Is there a catch?
There's always a catch, right? Remember those savings requirements. While the monthly income requirement is low, you need to demonstrate substantial financial resources to qualify for this visa in the first place. And don't forget about the cost of living. Portugal, especially in popular expat areas, can be quite expensive.
Ah, there it is. That cost of living factor strikes again.
Ah.
So Portugal might be a better fit for those who are financially secure and looking for a more European lifestyle rather than those who are on a tight budget.
Exactly. It's all about assessing your financial situation and aligning it with your lifestyle expectations.
Okay, Portugal noted. What about those seeking a more exotic locale? Any islands on our list?
How about we journey to the African continent and explore the island paradise of Mauritius?
Mauritius. The name itself evokes images of turquoise waters and white sand beaches. I'm already daydreaming about sipping cocktails under swaying palm trees.
It definitely sounds idyllic. And they have a retirement visa that's relatively accessible. You need to be at least 50 years old and have a monthly income of $1,500 USD.
Not bad at all. What are the benefits of this retirement visa?
You get a 10-year visa that's renewable. That's a significant chunk of time to enjoy island living. Plus, there's the possibility of applying for permanent residency or even citizenship down the line.
10 years in paradise. That sounds pretty tempting, but I have a feeling island life doesn't come cheap.
You're right. While the income requirement is relatively low, the cost of living in Mauritius can be quite high. Keep in mind, everything is imported and travel costs to other parts of the world can be steep.
So it's a bit of a splurge option, even with a lower income requirement. It seems like there's always a trade-off between affordability and lifestyle.
That's the beauty of having choices. It's all about finding the right balance for your individual needs and preferences.
Well said. We've covered some incredible ground so far, from the bustling cities of South America to the serene beaches of the Caribbean and Southeast Asia, and even a touch of European charm. And we've learned that there are affordable residency options out there for a variety of lifestyles and budgets. What other exciting destinations are on our list?
Let's venture back to South America for a moment and consider Uruguay. It's a country known for its stunning landscapes, laid-back lifestyle, and a strong emphasis on social welfare.
Uruguay. I've heard it's a hidden gem in South America. What kind of residency options do they have that fit our theme of affordability?
Uruguay offers an indefinite visa with a very reasonable income requirement of just $1,500 USD per month. And remember, what indefinite means, no renewals needed.
That's music to my ears. No dealing with paperwork and bureaucracy every year. Are there any additional requirements or catches we should be aware of?
Well, Uruguay, similar to Peru and Ecuador, has a physical presence requirement. To maintain your residency, you'll need to spend at least 180 days out of the year within the country.
180 days. That's a little more manageable than Ecuador's 275-day requirement, but still a considerable amount of time. It's a good reminder that these visas aren't just a free pass to come and go as you please. You're making a commitment to become a part of the community. What about the path to citizenship in Uruguay? Is that a possibility?
While there isn't a direct path to permanent residency with this particular visa, you can apply for citizenship after 3 years of living in Uruguay.
3 years. That's actually a pretty short time frame compared to some of the other countries we've discussed. So Uruguay offers a more accessible path to potential citizenship for those who are willing to make the commitment to live there for a significant portion of the year.
Exactly. It's all about weighing the options and deciding what's most important to you. Affordability, lifestyle, the path to citizenship, or perhaps a combination of all of these factors.
Speaking of weighing options, let's shift our focus to a country that bridges East and West, where ancient history meets modern vibrancy. Turkey. What kind of residency opportunities can we find in Turkey?
While obtaining a long-term residence permit in Turkey can be a bit complex, they do offer a short-term residency visa that's surprisingly affordable and relatively easy to obtain.
Okay, tell me more about this short-term visa. What are the requirements?
This visa is good for up to 2 years and only requires you to demonstrate a monthly income of $675 USD. Alternatively, you can qualify by showing proof of savings of at least $80,000.
2 years is a decent amount of time to immerse yourself in a new culture. Is there a path to permanent residency or citizenship from this short-term visa?
Unfortunately, that wasn't entirely clear from the information we have available. It's definitely something worth researching further if you're serious about making Turkey your long-term home.
That's a great point. It's so important to do your due diligence and dig deeper when it comes to these visa requirements. What else can you tell me about Turkey as a potential place to live?
Turkey offers a fascinating blend of cultures, stunning landscapes, and a rich history. Istanbul, in particular, is a vibrant city that seamlessly blends East and West. And let's not forget about the incredible cuisine. Turkish food is known for its bold flavors and fresh ingredients.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. It sounds like Turkey offers a truly unique cultural experience for those seeking something a little different. But before we get too carried away with visions of Turkish delights and exploring ancient ruins, let's take a step back and consider a point that Adelia, the video creator, emphasized. Today's prices are not tomorrow's prices. What did she mean by that?
She's highlighting a crucial point that often gets overlooked. Visa requirements, income thresholds, and even the cost of living can fluctuate over time. Countries adjust their policies based on a myriad of factors, from economic conditions to political changes. So what might be affordable and accessible today might not be the case a year or even a few months from now.
That's a sobering reminder that we can't just rely on information we find online or through word of mouth. We need to stay updated and do our own research before making any major life decisions.
Absolutely. It's essential to consult official government websites, connect with embassy or consulate representatives, and perhaps even seek guidance from immigration lawyers who specialize in residency visas for the specific country you're interested in.
That's great advice. It's better to be safe than sorry, especially when it comes to something as important as your right to live in a country. So besides doing thorough research, what other advice would you give to someone who's daydreaming about making a move abroad?
I would say start by dipping your toes in the water. If you're truly serious about living in another country, the best way to know for sure is to experience it firsthand. Plan a trip, even if it's just for a week or two, and immerse yourself in the culture.
That's a fantastic suggestion. It's like test driving a car before you buy it.
Yeah,
You get a feel for how it handles, how comfortable it is, and whether it truly meets your needs.
exactly. And while you're there, connect with other expats. They're a wealth of information and can offer invaluable insights into the realities of daily life in that particular country. They can tell you about things you won't find in guidebooks, the hidden gems, the local customs, and the potential challenges you might face.
That's a brilliant tip. They've already navigated the ins and outs of expat life, so they can provide practical advice and support. Where can people find these expat communities?
Online communities and forums are a great place to start. There are countless Facebook groups, Reddit forums, and online platforms dedicated to connecting expats and sharing information. You can also check out local meetups and events in your area of interest.
That's a great reminder that there's a whole world of support and resources out there, both online and offline. Connecting with others who have already made the leap can be incredibly empowering and reassuring. Any other words of wisdom for those who are feeling a bit apprehensive about making such a big change?
Embrace the unknown. Living abroad is an adventure, and like any adventure, it comes with its share of uncertainties and challenges. But it's also an opportunity for incredible personal growth, cultural immersion, and the chance to create memories that will last a lifetime.
Beautifully said. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone and embracing the unexpected twists and turns that life throws your way.
And remember, it doesn't have to be a permanent move. You can start with a shorter-term visa, like the one offered in Turkey, and see how it feels. Consider it a trial run.
Hmm.
If you love it, you can explore options for extending your stay or pursuing permanent residency. And if it's not the right fit, you've still gained invaluable experiences and broadened your horizons.
That's such a reassuring thought. It takes the pressure off and allows you to approach this life change with a sense of curiosity and openness rather than fear. We've talked a lot about the practicalities of residency visas, the importance of research and planning, and the exciting possibilities that come with living abroad. But let's not forget about the elephant in the room, culture shock. It's a phenomenon that almost every expat experiences to some degree. What advice do you have for navigating this often challenging aspect of living in a new country?
Culture shock is a normal part of the adjustment process. It's the feeling of disorientation and even anxiety that can rise when you're immersed in a culture that's significantly different from your own. It's important to acknowledge these feelings and not be too hard on yourself. Give yourself time to adapt, be patient, and remember that even the challenging moments can be valuable learning opportunities.
That's such a crucial point. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of the move and forget that adjusting to a new culture takes time and effort. What are some practical tips for managing culture shock?
One of the most effective strategies is to stay connected with your support system. Keep in touch with family and friends back home, but also make an effort to build new relationships in your new community. Join expat groups, take language classes, and attend local events. Immersing yourself in the culture and connecting with others who understand what you're going through can make a world of difference.
That's great advice. Building a sense of community is so important, especially when you're in a new and unfamiliar environment.
Yeah.
It's about finding your tribe, even if it's halfway across the world.
Yeah, it's amazing how a change of scenery can completely shift your perspective and open you up to new ways of thinking and living.
Yeah, it's like hitting the reset button on life and giving yourself permission to explore different facets of your personality and interests.
One thing that really struck me in the video was Adelia's comment about how someone making $1,500 a month could potentially relocate to so many different countries. It challenges the notion that living abroad is solely for the wealthy.
Yeah, it's a powerful reminder that with a little research and planning, this dream is within reach for more people than they might realize. It's like unlocking a secret level in the game of life.
Oh, I love that analogy. And it's not just about the finances. There's a certain resourcefulness and adaptability that comes with living abroad, especially on a budget. It encourages you to think outside the box and embrace a simpler way of living.
Yeah, you learn to appreciate the little things and find joy in experiences rather than material possessions.
Yeah, and those experiences become so much richer when you're immersed in a new culture. You gain fresh perspectives, challenge your assumptions, and develop a deeper understanding of the world.
It's like getting a crash course in personal growth while enjoying delicious food and incredible scenery. Speaking of which, I'm already daydreaming about empanadas in Argentina and pad thai in Thailand.
Don't forget the pastel de nata in Portugal and alfajores in Uruguay.
Oh my gosh, yes. All this talk of food is making me hungry. But seriously, folks, living abroad is about so much more than just the food. It's about challenging yourself, broadening your horizons, and embracing the unknown.
It's about saying yes to adventure, to new opportunities, and to a life less ordinary.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So, dear listener, if the travel bug has bitten you, if you're longing for something more, don't let those dreams fade away. Start researching, make a plan, and take that first step towards your global adventure.
And remember, we're here cheering you on every step of the way.
That's right. Until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and keep diving deep into the wonders of the world.